Hello friends, my name is Amit Singh and I welcome you in this Shankar Dev IAS Academy YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to discuss about the geography test which was conducted by the Academy on 23rd of July. So I go with the first question. First question is, Maharashtrian plateau is made up of? Answer is lava rock. We know that the peninsular plateau of India was the part of Gondwana land, and after breaking it from the Gondwana land, what happened? It passes over the reunion hotspot. Now, from this hotspot, we're having the emergence of lot of lava, and which has created this region that is called as Deccan Trap. See this part. Now, this Deccan Trap extend in the Malwa region, covering almost whole of Maharashtra plateau, extending into Telangana region, and also covering a part of or northern part of Karnataka region. Okay, so this Deccan Trap is also covering the part of Maharashtrian plateau, and that is made up of lava rocks. So the answer is lava rocks. Second question is, the highest peak in South India is? Answer is Anaimudi. The height of this is 2695 meter. It is the highest peak of South India. It lies in Annamalai Hills. So they were having Annamalai Hills. This is Anaimudi. Okay. Now see this. Now if you talk about the second highest peak is Doda Beta. It is 2637 meter height of Doda Beta. It forms a part of Nilgiri Hills. Okay, so they were having Anaimudi. It actually forming the part of, it comes in the territory of Kerala state. Okay, almost lies near to the border of Kerala and Tamil Nadu, but it lies within the territory of Kerala. So the answer is, the highest peak of South India is Anaimudi, which forms a part of Annamalai Hills. Third question is, Aravali range are an example of residual mountains. Now remember this part. Aravali range is one of the oldest range of the world. So it is believed that uh, even it was having a number of peaks which were more higher than Mount Everest. But now, because of lot of weathering and erosion, what happened? It has now become a residual hill or relict mountain chain. Okay, so they were having the Aravali range. This part were having the Aravali range extending from the northern part of Gujarat, crossing Rajasthan up to Majluka Tila in Delhi. So they were having the this Aravali range. Okay, so it is the residual mountain, not having very much high mountains. So you can see it is more in the range of hills, not of mountains. So the answer is residual hill. Fourth one is, which of the following mountain pass lies outside India? So we know that Bomdila forms a part of Arunachal Pradesh. They were having Baralacha, it forms a part of Himachal Pradesh. Shipkila also forms a part of Himachal Pradesh. It is actually the pass through which river Satluj enters into our country. Okay. Now, as per the Khyber Pass is concerned, it's not forming the part of our territory. It actually forms the border between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So they were having Khyber Pass. Our territory is over here. See, this forms the territory of India. Okay, so over here we're having Khyber Pass. When Pakistan was the part of India, that time you can say we're having this particular pass which is providing the connectivity with Afghanistan or Central Asia. See, they were having Bomdila. It is in Himachal Pradesh. Next one is Zojila Pass connects So in case of Zojila Pass, just it is near to Dras sector, so it is connecting. They were having Srinagar and they were having Kargil. So over here we're having Dras sector or Dras location. Okay, so they were having the pass, that is Zojila Pass. So it is connecting Leh and Srinagar. Leh is over here. Leh, which is the capital of recently created Ladakh Union Territory, and Srinagar forms a part of Jammu and Kashmir. So they were having the Srinagar Leh highway passing through Kargil. Okay, so over this part we're having Zojila Pass. Okay, or you can say this Leh Srinagar highway passes through Zojila Pass. It is near to Dras sector. So they were having Dras. This is Kargil, and this is Srinagar. Okay, this forms the highway of Srinagar and Leh. Leh is over here. So we go with the sixth question. Which of the following passes and locations is or are wrongly matched? Now, in case of Zojila and Burzil, these two pass forms a part of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, you can see. Right? Second one is Baralachala and Shipkila. So their answer is 1, 2, 3. Not this B answer, it is 1, 2, 3. Okay. So Zojila Pass and Burzil. Zojila I have told you in fact forms a part of Ladakh region. Zojila Pass, okay, which is providing the connectivity between Srinagar and Leh. It is in Ladakh region. Okay. So the answer is 1, 2, 3. All three are wrong answer. So in case of Baralachala and Shipkila, it's not in Uttar Pradesh. It is in Himachal Pradesh. Then comes Thagla, Niti Pass and Lipule. It forms a part of Uttarakhand, not of Himachal Pradesh. Okay, yes, this one is of course very much correct. In case of Nathula and Jelapla Pass, it forms a part of Sikkim. Okay. So the answer is 1, 2, 3, which are wrong of course. So these three are wrong. Zojila forms a part of Ladakh, not of Jammu and Kashmir. So they were having Niti Pass, Lipu Lake. Okay, so these two forms a part of Uttarakhand. Then comes the seventh question. Seventh one is, which of the following are true with respect to Indian Peninsular Plateau? So we're talking about this Peninsular Plateau. This one is the Peninsular Plateau of India. Now, in this case, the first statement is, the Southern Plateau block is formed mainly of granite and gneisses. So gneiss rock and granite rock is of course it is the main composition of this Peninsular Plateau of India. Second one is, the Deccan Lava Plateau is an elevated table land consists of horizontally arranged lava sheets. So this I have already made you know. Of course, it is also clear because most of the part of Deccan Lava Plateau, you can say Deccan Plateau is been it is been covered. You can say it is having a part now known as Deccan Trap, which is made up of lava rocks. Okay, so it is also correct. Malwa Plateau contains Vindhyan scarp forming northern flanks of the plateau. So it is also correct, of course. Malwa forms the northern part of Peninsular Plateau. So they were having Malwa Plateau just above Vindhyan. Okay, so it is dominating Vindhyan range. So they were having the Vindhyan range. Okay, just above Vindhyan we are having Malwa Plateau. So Malwa Plateau. Okay, so it is forming the northern part of the Peninsular Plateau of India. So it is also correct. Now the fourth one is, the turf of Narbada and Tapti are in between Vindhyan and Satpura. So that is actually not correct. Now in case of Narmada river, it is correct of course. In case of Narmada river, it is between Vindhyan and Satpura. So this forms the region or the rift valley of river Narmada, But Tapi is not in between Vindhyan and Satpura. It is in between Satpura and Ajanta range. So below we are having Ajanta range. So it is in between Satpura and Ajanta range. So this statement is not correct. So it is Narmada, of course. If you go with the case of Narmada river, it is correct. But there we have also included Tapti river. So it is not. It is making the statement more incorrect. Okay, right? So the answer 1, 2, 3 are correct. So these three statements are correct, not the fourth one. So answer is C. So next one is, which of the following is the main difference between western and the eastern Ghats? So we're having the eastern and the western flanks of the peninsular plateau of India. It forms a boundary of the peninsular plateau of India. Now if you go with the case of western Ghats, so western Ghats are more escarpments or the block mountains. So these are the western Ghats, of course. The You can say these Ghats are the, you can say it is more a continuous mountain chain having very few you can say passes through which we can have the connectivity between eastern and the western part of the region. But in case of Eastern Ghats, so Eastern Ghats are not the escarpments, these are the fold mountains. It is not because of the breaking of a huge rock, but because of the folding of the region. So these are the fold mountains, these are the residual mountains which are actually been cut by a number of mighty rivers of the peninsular India. So they were having river Mahanadi. Okay, I'll just change the color first of this pen. So this is the river Mahanadi. Okay, so they were having river Godavari. It is the channel of river Krishna. They were having Kaveri. So these mighty rivers has cut this particular eastern ghat. So develop a number of passes, and that too of long distance. Okay, so in this case, eastern ghats are not as continuous as the western ghat. So the main difference between the eastern and the western ghat is its continuity. Okay, so we are having a number of more differences also, but in this four options, this one is the more appropriate answer. So next one is, which of the following is not true regarding the coastal plains of India? So we go with the first statement. Western coast has narrow alluvial margin interspersed by the hilly terrain. It is correct, of course. It is again a very narrow margin of alluvial, you can say, part. Second one is, the eastern coast has wide plain with well developed delta. Yes, it is also having a number of delta, so which is lacking in the western coast. In case of east coast, we're having a number of deltas. So there we're having deltas. Of course, this is Manadi delta, this one is Krishna Godavari delta, they were having Kaveri delta. Okay, it is a delta of river Vaigai. So it is having a number of big delta which is lacking in this particular western part. Fine. So it is also a correct statement. Third statement is, the west coast has a little indentation except towards the south. Okay, so it is also, you can say, a correct statement. Now we go with the fourth one. The west and the east coast have the same alluvial feature. So this is not the correct one, of course, where we are not having much wide alluvial plains, so not having the same type of feature as we're having in case of the eastern part. So they were having more wider plains. Okay, right? So they were having more wider plains which usually been used for the purpose of even for the farming also. So even this part, if you go with the case of Coromandel coast, it is also called as the granary of South India because of its more wider alluvial plains which have been developed by these rivers. Okay, so the structure, or you can say the feature, what we're having in case of eastern coast is not matching with the western part. So you can say answer D is, of course, is not a correct statement. Answer is D. So next come, in which of the following is the Himalayan pass Shipkila located? Okay, so Shipkila, so La here stands for pass only. So Shipkila located. So in case of Shipkila, it is actually nothing but the Satluj Valley. So I've told you, in case of this particular, we're having Great Himalayas, in which we're having Shipkila Pass. Okay, through this pass, or this pass actually been developed by the river Satluj. Now through this pass or through this valley, river Satluj enters into the territory of river, or into the territory of India. So they were having river Satluj rising near to Mansarovar Lake, and from here it is entering into our region by cutting the Great Himalayas, forming a pass or a valley known as Satluj Valley or Shipkila Pass. Fine. So they were having river Satluj. We go with the next question, 11th question. Arrange the following range in order from north to south. So from north to south we have to arrange these hilly ranges. So first one is Nalla Malai range, or Nalla Malai range in fact. Second one is Nilgiri range. Third one is Annamalai range, and fourth one is Cardamom Hills. So we have to arrange these all ranges or hills into from north to south direction. So the first one here we're having Nallamalar Hills. So they were having, which forms a part of Eastern Ghat. So they were having Nallamala Hills. Okay. Then comes Nilgiri Hills. So I've told you, in this hills we are having, it is more the, you can say it is one of the name of East Western Ghats. Okay. So they were having Nilgiri Hills, in which we are having the second highest peak of South India, that is Doda Beta. This one is Nilgiri Hills. Just below we are having Annamalai Hills, in which we are having the highest peak of South India, that is Anaimudi. Okay, and just after, the same Western Ghat is known as Cardamom Hills. Okay, so they were having Cardamom Hills. So the first one is Nallamala, second one is Nilgiri Hills, then comes Annamalai Hills, and fourth one is Cardamom Hills. Okay, so this basically forming the boundary between Kerala and Tamil Nadu. So the answer is first, then comes Nilgiri, third one is Annamalai, and fourth one is Cardamom. So answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. So they were having the answer B, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is the answer, okay, of 11th question. Then comes 12th question. Arrange the following Himalayan peak in order as they occur from west to east direction. So from west to east direction we have to arrange. Okay, so they were having the peaks. Of course, we're having Kanchenjunga. Second one is Mount Everest, Nanda Devi, and fourth one is Dhaulagiri. So if we talk about the arrangement, the first peak, or the westernmost peak among these four, first one is Nanda Devi. Now Nanda Devi is over here. It forms a part of Uttarakhand of India, Uttarakhand in India. So they were having Nanda Devi. See this? This is Nanda Devi, of course. Okay. So they were having the boundary. This is the boundary between India and Nepal. And just near to that we're having Nanda Devi peak. Okay. Now first one is, the westernmost is Nanda Devi. Then comes Dhaulagiri. Now Dhaulagiri forms the part of Nepal region. Dhaulagiri is also a range. Okay, so we're having a range, but we are talking about the Dhaulagiri peak, or the, in fact, highest point. So they were having Dhaulagiri. So Dhaulagiri forms a part of Nepal. Then comes Mount Everest. Now this Mount Everest lies at the border between Nepal and China. So we have the southern slope. The southern slope forms a part of Nepal, and the northern slope forms a part of China. And yes, the easternmost is Kanchenjunga. So among the four, easternmost is Kanchenjunga. Now even Kanchenjunga is also not fully forms a part of India or Sikkim region of India. Okay, it also forms a boundary, or falls in the boundary between Nepal and India, or Sikkim, of course you can say. In the west slope forms a part of Nepal, and east slope forms a part of India. Okay, and this is Kanchenjunga. So there the arrangement is, just wait. Now, so the answer is 3, 4, 2 and 1. So answer is D. They were having the answer. Now again we're having the same type of question. Now arrange the following range in order as they occur from north to south. So we have to look for the north of arrangement. So these are the ranges. We're having Pir Panjal range. Next one is Karakoram range, Jaskar range, and next one is Ladakh. So these are the 4 ranges. So which we have to arrange from north to south direction. इसको arrange करना है हमको ये, right? So the northernmost range is Karakoram range. Okay, so see this part. Northernmost is Karakoram range. There we have the Karakoram range. Now this Karakoram range forms the boundary between India and China, or Tibet region, or China of course, India and Afghanistan also in case of Karakoram. So it forms the northernmost mountain range of India. कौन सा है? It is Karakoram range. Fine. So first one is, or the northernmost is Karakoram range. Then comes Ladakh range. See this? So thereafter we're having Ladakh range, which even extending into the Tibet region. This one is Ladakh range. Okay, and it is known as Kailash range in Tibet region. Fine. Then comes Jaskar range. So third one is Jaskar range. Just to the south of Ladakh we're having Jaskar range, and all 3 are called as Trans Himalayas. That you're very much aware. Okay. So the first one is, the northernmost one is Karakoram range, then comes Ladakh range, second is Ladakh range, third one is Jaskar range, and fourth one is Pir Panjal range. Fourth one is Pir Panjal range. So they were having Pir Panjal range, which forms a part of Himalayan ranges. It is Pir Panjal range. Okay. So the answer is north to south, second, fourth, third and 1. So 3, 4, third and 1. So answer is A. So we go with the 14th question. Consider the following. So there we have to check out the sequence again. Just what is the correct sequence of the above from north to south? So they were having the hilly ranges. We're having Vindhyan Hills. Second one is Sahyadris, and third one is Satpura range. Now this recently we had covered this part. So they were having the Vindhyan range. Okay. Thereafter we're having Narmada Valley. So we have done this part, this question. So we're having Narmada Valley or Rift Valley. Thereafter we're having Satpura range, and then comes Sahyadris. Okay. So from the mouth of river Tapi, you can say after Vindhyan range, we're having Narmada Rift Valley. Thereafter we're having Satpura range. Then comes Tapi Rift Valley. This one is Tapi, river Tapi or Tapti Rift Valley. And just from the mouth of river Tapi, we're having the start of Sahyadris, which is the other name of Western Ghat. Now see over here. So they were having Vindhyan range. At the middle we're having the valley of river Narmada. Then comes Satpura range, extending is there of course, and then comes the Rift Valley of river Tapi. And from the mouth of river Tapi we're having the start of Western Ghat, and Western Ghat is nothing but the Sahyadris. Fine. So now we can easily make out the sequence. So the northernmost is Vindhyan. First one is Vindhyan, then comes Satpura, second is Satpura, and third one is Sahyadris. Okay, so the answer is 1, 3, 2. So they were having the answer C. Then comes the next question, 15th question we're having. See this part. So again we're having the arrangement we have to just check out the sequence of hills from east to west. Now always remember the direction from where we have to arrange. Okay, so there we have to arrange from east to west direction. This one is the east direction, this is the west direction, and we have to arrange from east to west direction. So these are the hills what we're having, the correct sequence of hills from east to west direction. So hills are Naga Hills, Mikir, Khasi, Garo. Okay, so you know that Purvanchal or Eastern Hills in Nagaland is called as Naga Hills, which forms a boundary between, or the border which lies at the border between India and Myanmar. Okay, so it forms the easternmost hill among the given. Okay, so this one is Naga Hill. Then comes Mikir Hill. So the extension of Meghalaya Plateau, or you can say Garo Khasi Jayanta, we're having Mikir range in Assam region. Okay, so they were having Mikir range. This one is Mikir range. Okay, then comes Jaintia, Khasi, Garo, but we are not concerned with Jaintia. So we are having Naga Hills easternmost, then comes Mikir Hills, Mikir one is there of course, and then comes Khasi, and the last one is Garo. And thereafter we are having a gap. Okay, then we're having, again we're having the start of Peninsular Plateau of India. They were having Rajmahal Hills over this part. Okay, so this one is called as Garo, Rajmahal Garo gap. Okay, so this is the sequence of course. So the answer is Naga, Mikir, Khasi, Garo. It also in case of Shillong, which is the capital of Meghalaya, forms the part of Khasi Hills only. So they were having Khasi Hill. This is the location of Shillong. So the answer is Naga, Mikir, Khasi and Garo. So we go with the next 16th question. Identify the river with the help of given information. Okay, so we're having certain information and we have to check out which river we're talking about. So the first information given over here is it originates from the sacred tank of Multai on Satpura range. So that is again very much clear. We're having a location of a river in Multai. Okay, it forms a part of Satpura range. So this is what we had already covered in the last few questions in fact. So from this range we're having the rising of a river. Okay, so next one, it flows between Ajanta and Satpura. This also we had covered, this particular point we had covered of course. So we're having a river which flows through Ajanta between Rift Valley, lies between Ajanta and Satpura range. It drains into Gulf of Khambar. So while moving towards the west direction, so we are having very few rivers in case of peninsular India, a few main rivers, or you can say more big rivers of course, which are moving towards the west direction, because in case of peninsular India it is having a slope from west to east direction, but because these two rivers are flowing through Rift Valley, so they travel from east to west direction. Okay, so we are talking about a river which is flowing between Ajanta and Satpura, and that river is Tapi river. So the answer is river Tapi or Tapti. Okay, and this is the Gulf of Khambat. Okay, this gulf is this simply the small area is surrounding by the land area and land of course. So this is called as gulf, engulfing a water body, that is a gulf of course. This one is Gulf of Khambat, also called as Cambay. So both are same of course. There's no different. You can say we don't have any other gulf which is known as Cambay. So both are same of course. This is called as Gulf of Khambat, where two major rivers of India are simply emptying their water, and that is these two rivers are the river Narmada and river Tapi, and these two rivers flows through Rift Valley. That is how they are moving from east to west direction, even though the peninsular plateau of India is having slope from west to east direction. This is having slope in this way. Okay, but these two rivers are moving from east to west direction. So the answer is river Tapi. We go with the next one, 17th one. Now, the Chota Nagpur plateau. Now this plateau is really very important for our, you can say this exam also. And as per the economy of India is concerned, it is also very important for the economy also. Why it is so? Because it is more acting as the mineral house of India. Okay, so we are having Chota Nagpur plateau. Now it covers the area of which of the following state? Now, majorly in case of Chota Nagpur plateau, it forms a part of Jharkhand, that you are very much aware. Okay, so in case of this Chota Nagpur plateau, okay, so majorly it forms a part. It comes under the territory of Jharkhand state. Okay, so apart from that, it is also extending into nearby neighboring states that include West Bengal. Okay, it also moving over. A small part is moving into Bihar also, so they were having Chota Nagpur. Okay, it is also touching with the northern part of Chhattisgarh. Okay, so they were having the answer. You can see we're having West Bengal. It is extending to West Bengal also. It is extending into touching with Chhattisgarh also, or the northern part of Chhattisgarh, having some linkage with Bihar also and Jharkhand. So the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4 is the answer. Okay, it is extending into West Bengal, Chhattisgarh, Bihar and Jharkhand, but majorly it falls into the territory of state Jharkhand. So they were having Chota Nagpur plateau. See this one is Chhattisgarh, this is Chhattisgarh, this is Chhattisgarh. So over here we're having the extension of CNP, Chota Nagpur plateau. This is the boundary between Jharkhand and West Bengal, having some you can say some part extending into West Bengal also, and some part moving into Bihar. So they were having Bihar. It is also having extending into Bihar. So the answer is 1, 2, 3, 4. All the 4 states are having some linkage with Chota Nagpur plateau. So the answer is D. 1, 2, 3, 4 is the answer. Then comes 18th. The Rift Valley is formed mainly due to, so you know Rift Valley is forming because of the breaking and displacement of rock. Okay, so what is happening? A part is subside, and that actually been acquired by a river. Okay, so they were having the tensional force, or it can be also because of the compressive force. So this led to a little shift, and which makes particular rock mass to subside. Okay, and because of the substance, what happened? We're having the formation of a rift valley. So they were having a rift valley. Usually this rift valley is usually been acquired by a river. So now we're having a river over there, and one of the good example of this is river Narmada and Tapti rift valley. Rift valley. Okay, so it is showing the example of this rift valley. So it is because of the subsidence of the floor of a river. Okay, right? So they will have the substance of river. Okay, so because of breaking and development of a crack over there, and because of this tensional force, and could be because of the compressive force also, a part may subside, and this led to the formation of a valley called as Rift Valley, because of the rifting of a rock piece, that is Rift Valley. Done. So next one is 19th one is, the Himalayas are generally divided into 3 ranges which do not include. Okay, so in case of Himalayas we're having 3 ranges. One is the Great Himalayas or the Inner Himalayas. We're having also called as Himadri. We're also second range is Himachal, and third one is Shivalik. Fine, okay. So these 3 ranges are there. So these 3 are commonly called as Himalayan range. It is covering the Great Himalayas, Middle Himalayas and the Outer Himalayas. Okay, or Himadri, Himachal and Shivalik. Okay, now after crossing Himalaya towards the north, after crossing Himalayas towards the cross or across Himalayas, we're having 3 more ranges which forming the part of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh region. Okay, and these ranges are called as Trans Himalaya, that is across Himalayas. After crossing Himalayas, we're having 3 more ranges forming the part of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh region. So these 3 ranges are not forming the part of Himalaya but Trans Himalaya, and one of the ranges is Karakoram range. So it is covering Shivalik, Himadri and Himachal, lesser Himalayas. Okay, so Karakoram is not the part of, or this range is not the part of the Himalayas. It forms a part of Trans Himalayas across Himalayas. So 20th question, what do you understand by the term Doab? So again, it is again a very easy concept. You might have heard about Punjab, Punch Aap. So where Punch stands for 5 and Aap stands for rivers. Okay. So from this concept only we're having the rise of a new concept called as Doab, where Do stands for 2, Doab, okay, 2, and Aap stands for of course rivers or river. Okay, that means Doab is a region between two rivers. This one is Doab. Okay, now because it has been made by the deposition done by these two rivers, so these plains are these deposition, or you can say these plains are very fertile. Okay, and Punjab is made up of 5 Doabs. Okay, so they were having 5 rivers, and the region between these rivers are called as Doabs, and Punjab is made up of 5 Doabs. So we are talking about the time before the partition of India. So there we also counting the river, the Indian territory was also counting the river Indus. Okay, right? So clubbing that part, Punjab actually formed by 5 Doabs. So they were having Doabs. Okay, so there we're having Sindh Sagar Doab, we're having Rachna Doab, Chej Doab is there, then comes Bari Doab. Okay, we're having Bish Doab. So this all forming the part of Punjab. Okay, right? It is the Doab of river Indus and its tributary, including of which form which actually forming Punjab. Okay, so these are the region between the two rivers called as Doab. Okay, so they were having Bish Doab, Bari Doab, Rachna Doab, Chej Doab, and then comes Sindh Sagar Doab. Okay, so Doab is the land or the region between the two rivers. Is the answer? Answer is D. Then comes 21st. Which of the following statement is wrong regarding the Valley of Kashmir? It is synclinal valley. ठीक है, it is also a correct statement of course. देखो एक होता है syncline, एक होता है one is syncline, other one is anticline. So this is uplifted part is called as anticline. Anticline. Okay, and this downfold part is called as syncline. So in case of this valley, it is more because of the downfold of the region, so it is called as synclinal valley. It is a correct statement. Okay, it is situated between Pir Panjal and Lesser Himalayas. Now this statement is rightfully wrong. Straightway it is again a wrong statement. Why is so? Because Pir Panjal and Lesser Himalaya actually both are the same. Even you can say a part of Lesser Himalayas or Himachal in Jammu and Kashmir region is called as Pir Panjal. Okay, right? So there the statement is not correct. So Pir Panjal is actually the Lesser Himalayas, or forming the part of Lesser Himalayas. Third statement is it is drained by river Jhelum. It is correct of course. So we are having Lake Vular. Okay, so this Lake Vular is actually drained by Jhelum river. And then comes fourth statement. Previously it was a bed of Great Lake and subsequently uplifted. That is also a correct statement. So earlier we used to have a lake which later been sedimented, and that is now led to the formation of this great valley, okay, called as Valley of Kashmir. Okay, so see this part. So they were having Pir Panjal range, and just above we're having the Great Himalayas. Okay, so we're having Lesser Himalayas and the Great Himalayas, and between that we're having this valley called as Valley of Kashmir. Okay, and they were having Lake Vular. Okay, so earlier there was a lake, of course it was more a lake, a huge lake was there which got filled up by the sediment brought by this river Satluj and its tributary, and now we're having the formation of this flat valley called as Kashmir Valley. So next one is 22nd question. So answer is B, of course. So there we have to check out the wrong statement, incorrect statement. So next one is moist tropical evergreen forests are found in. So again you can easily make out by the name itself. So moist here stands for the region which is witnessing rainfall or heavy rainfall throughout the year, or usually having the wet climatical condition. Okay, and also form the part of tropical area. So where India usually having the tropical type of climate. So the region which is witnessing rainfall throughout the year are having huge rainfall. So over that part we may also have evergreen forest which is not having any dry season. Okay, so in this case it is these areas which is near to the coast witnessing rainfall throughout the year. Okay, having evergreen forest, and that too moist evergreen forest having some good rainfall. Okay, so it cannot be found in Shivalik region. So whole of Shivalik is not having the tropical evergreen forest. Okay, it is not the correct answer because over there we don't have the evergreen forest but having the deciduous forest. In case of Deccan area, Deccan Plateau also, we're having the semi-arid type of climate. Over this part we're having semi-arid climate, so not giving the rightful condition for the development of tropical moist evergreen forest. Same is the case with Malabar also. It is not also not receiving the rainfall throughout the year, so not having the evergreen forest but more the deciduous forest. Okay, so these three answers the question, these options are not correct. It is the Shillong Plateau, it is the Meghalaya Plateau which is receiving rainfall almost throughout the year. And you know that we are having Cherrapunji and Mawsynram, which is the wettest place of the world. Okay, forming the part of Meghalaya or Shillong Plateau. So the answer is A, Shillong Plateau. So 23rd question. Consider the following statement. Continental shelf is wider on the western coast of India than on the eastern coast of India. Second statement is western coast of India has more organic deposit than eastern coast. Which of the than the eastern coast? Which of the following, which of the above statement is are correct? Now that is correct. Of course, if you go with the first statement, it is a correct statement. Western coast is more wider. Why it is so? Because even this coast, if you talk about the, first of all, I'll just convey you one thing. In case of the differentiation between the shelf and the start of slope is on the basis of its slope, in fact, okay, or the angle of slope. So there it is declining with the lesser angle, but in case of this slope it is declining with the more steeper angle. Okay, right, it is having more steeper slope. So this part in case of continental shelf it is having more lesser slope. So now we go with this part. I'll go with the part of India. Now if you talk about this part, it is the western coastal shelf. Okay, this part actually created because of the submergence of a part of peninsular India. Okay, so they were having a region which, because of the tectonic activity, it break up and this part subsided, and because of this we are having the creation of this shelf area. So it is created because of the subsidence of, it is created also because of the subsidence of a part of peninsular India. So because of this part is much wider as compared to the east coast, which is because of the deposition of the alluvial brought by the rivers. Okay, so because of this west coast is more wider, and usually in case of organic substance, okay, so we're having more organic material or substance found over the coast, over the shelf area than over the slope area. Okay, so because this one is having more longer slope, so having more organic depositions. Okay, so both the statements are correct. So there the western slope is more wide, western coast is more wider, western shelf is more wider as compared to eastern coast. And second one is it is also having more deposition of organic deposits as compared to eastern coast. So the answer is C. So the next question, the reason for Rajasthan being deficit in rainfall. Now, most of the rainfall what we're having in our country is because of the presence of mountains as the barrier to the monsoon winds. So they were having the presence of Himalaya, which is more acting as a barrier, and because of which we're having the orographic rainfall. So over this part we're having more barriers, and because of which we're having rainfall. Okay, but if you go with the case of Rajasthan or this area, so there we don't have any mechanical barrier, any natural barrier. Okay, even though we're having hills over here, but these hills are not running, not acting as a barrier of course, but running parallel to the monsoon winds. Okay, so see this part. So we're having the onset of monsoon coming from this side, coming from the southern part. Of course, they were having the barrier which is called as Western Ghats. It divides particular monsoon winds and develop two branches. Okay, this one is Arabian Sea branch. Now it is this Arabian Sea branch which reaches over here. Okay, right, and may produce rainfall if there is any mechanical barrier. But since these Aravallis are lying simply existing and running parallel to the monsoon winds, so it does not make any substantial barrier, so does not produce rainfall over here. It is not allowing the monsoon winds to produce rainfall over here. We may have, I've told you, because of the presence of some barrier we can have the rainfall, but we don't have any this kind of barrier. It is almost running parallel to the winds, of course. So we don't have rainfall over here, over this part. Okay, so we can go with the option. So they were having the option D. The winds do not come across any barrier to cause the necessary upliftment to be cooled. Okay, so because of the upliftment only we can have the condensation. So this moisture carrying winds or monsoon winds moves upward, which is carrying lot of moisture, it condenses led to the formation of cloud, and it's this cloud which produce rainfall. But since we don't have any barrier over here, so this wind simply moves straight away, does not uplifted, so we don't have any condensation or rainfall over there. So the answer is D. So because of not having any natural mechanical barrier over there, so because of this we don't have much rainfall in case of Rajasthan. Now we go with the 25th question. Rainfall from the southwest monsoon reaches. Now you can say actually this question is talking about where we can receive the rainfall from with the help of southwest monsoon. So you are very much aware that we receive the maximum rainfall into our country is because of southwest monsoon. It brings almost 70% of the rainfall into our country, right? But where actually it simply brings the rainfall? So in case of Lahaul Spiti, okay, so over this part we're having Lahaul Spiti, over this part in Himachal Pradesh. Okay, so there we don't have much rainfall because it forms the rain shadow region. Okay, so there we are not receiving much rainfall because of southwest monsoon. Same is the case with Ladakh also. So even this also forms a desert area or the cold desert area. So there also we don't have much rainfall because of southwest monsoon. Okay, because it also forms a part of rain shadow region. Now, in case of coast of Tamil Nadu or Coromandel coast, so this one is coast of Tamil Nadu. Now, this coast also falls to the lies parallel to the southwest monsoon winds. Okay, so because of this, these hilly areas which are there in the Tamil Nadu coast or Coromandel coast does not act as a mechanical barrier to make this monsoon winds to condense and produce rainfall. So even this part also not witnessing any rainfall because of southwest monsoon. Even though I've told you 70% of the total rainfall is because of southwest monsoon, but this Coromandel coast is not receiving rainfall because of southwest monsoon. Okay, so these are the are the, you can say, region which are not receiving rainfall because of southwest monsoon. So we're having Lahore Spiti, Ladakh region, again dry region of course, then comes coast of Tamil Nadu also. So there also we don't have rainfall because of, or much rainfall because of southwest monsoon. Okay, but in case of delta region of Mahanadi, now it falls on the line of southwest monsoon. So these regions simply receives lot of rainfall. Even you can say the valley of river Mahanadi even takes this monsoon winds even interior into the region of Chhattisgarh, and because of this, so after reaching these winds, after reaching over there, so these winds actually get trapped between this particular topography and produce lot of rainfall in the region of Chhattisgarh. Okay. So this particular region, that is the delta region of Mahanadi, lies on the way of southwest monsoon, because of which it receives good rainfall. So the answer is delta region of Mahanadi. Next question. Select the correct sequence in the decreasing order of contribution to the forest cover on India. So there we have to take the reference of Forest Survey of India report 2019, because recently what we're having is the report of 2019 only. Forest survey takes place after every 2 years. So we are still awaiting for the report that is for 2021. So we have to take the reference of 2019 only. But this question is very simple. Of course, we can also solve with this report even. So in case of, we have to decrease the sequence in decreasing order, okay, as per the contribution to the forest cover on India is concerned. Okay. Now we're having three regions. One is dense forest, open forest, and mangrove forest. Okay. So out of three, which is having the most, in fact, region contributing more, of course. Okay. So in this case, the first should be open forest. It is contributing almost 9.26%. Okay. If you go with the case of these three region, okay, open forest, dense forest region of India, and mangrove forest. Okay, so from these three, open forest contributes the maximum, almost contributing 9.26% of the total geographical area. Then comes dense forest. So out of the total forest covered area, okay, dense forest contribute very less. How much? It is just 3.2%. Okay, so we're having three orders in this case. We're having dense forest region, we're having moderately covered region, forest region, and we're having the open forest region. Okay, right? So dense forest covered only 3.02%, but even less than this particular area, we're having mangrove forest, which is covering just 0.15%. Okay, so open forest contributing 9.26%, dense forest covering 3.02%, and mangrove forest, which is found near to the coast, of course, where we're having the meeting of fresh water with the saline water. There we're having the usually the location of mangrove forest. Okay, it is contributing just 0.15%. So the answer is open forest. First one is open forest, then comes dense forest, and then comes mangrove forest. So answer is B. Okay, so this according to Forest Survey of India report 2019. Okay, so total forest cover area is 21.67%. Okay, right? So our requirement is almost 33%. Of course, out of that we are having just a 21.67% of the total geographical area. Okay, it is the total forest covered area as per 2019 report of Forest Survey of India. Now in case of, we're having some more factual, you can say, part linked with mangrove forest, which may come into your exam. Now mangrove forest or mangrove variety or mangrove vegetation is that type of vegetation which can survive both in fresh or sweet water and in saline water. Okay, so it found only over the region which is having the meeting of fresh water of rivers with the saline water. Okay, so over that part we are having the presence of mangrove vegetation. Okay, now no other vegetation apart from mangrove can survive in saline water. So if we cut off this all mangrove forest, we will not have any other type of vegetation over there. Okay, right? So now in this case we are having just the contribution of mangrove throughout the country is just 0.15% of the total geographical area. Okay, very small contribution of mangrove forest, even though we are having long coastline from Gujarat till West Bengal. Okay, now out of that it is West Bengal which is contributing the maximum. Okay, in case of mangrove forest it is West Bengal which is contributing almost 42.45%. Okay, so out of all the states which are touching, which are having the coastline, it is West Bengal which is contributing the most as per the mangrove cover is concerned. Okay, right? And thereafter we're having Gujarat region. Now in case of district, it is the South 24 Pargana district which is contributing the maximum mangrove forest. How much it is in fact? So of the total coverage of mangrove forest, it is almost contributing 41.85%. Okay, so name of the district is South 24 Pargana, which forms a part of West Bengal. Then comes next one is 27th question. The K2 peak is located in which of the following range? Okay, now K2 is the highest peak of India. K2 is the highest peak of India, though it forms a part of Pakistan occupied Kashmir. Okay, it is K2. In fact, now K2 is over here. It is not the part of Himalaya, but forms a part of Trans Himalaya, and that too lies in Karakoram range. Okay, so they were having Karakoram range. Over this part, we're having Karakoram range. Okay, so over here we're having K2. K2, which is the highest peak of India. This is the location of K2. Okay, so it forms a part of Karakoram range. Now it is the second highest peak of the world, highest peak of India and second highest peak of the world. Answer is Karakoram range. It is not forming the part of Himalayas. It is the part of Karakoram range. Then comes 28th question. Which of the following is recognized as a season by the Meteorological Department of India? Now in case of Meteorological Department, okay, so we are not counting the season as spring, autumn, summer, winter, of course. So they were having our own distribution of seasons. Okay, so they were having the season, of course. So the first season we're having the winter season, which is there between January and February month. Okay, it is called as cold weather season. Also we're having more colder temperature or cool temperature we're having. After winter we're having summer season, also called as pre-monsoon season, as what been defined by meteorological department. Okay, so thereafter we're having summer season, or we're having pre-monsoon season, can also be called as thunderstorm season, because lot of thunderstorm we witness during this phase. Then comes southwest monsoon season. It is this season when we witness our maximum rainfall in 1 year. Okay, it is because of southwest monsoon only we witness the rainfall. Okay, right? It remains in the month of uh, June, July, August, and September. Okay, so for 4 months we're having southwest monsoon season, and last one of the year, that is post monsoon or northeast monsoon season. Okay, so the fourth one is northeast monsoon season, or can also be called as retreating monsoon. Though it's more a misnomer, of course, but we can take it as it is retreating southwest monsoon. Okay, can also be called as northeast monsoon. Okay, now this season remain in the month of October, November, and December. Okay, so among these four, it is northeast monsoon is the right answer. Next one is, which of the following places rank second among the coldest place in the world? So in case of the given locations, we're having Dras. Okay, Dras we're having Kullu Manali. Kullu is there, of course. Okay, Kullu in Himachal Pradesh, Manali is in Himachal Pradesh, and we also have Itanagar. So Itanagar is not the right answer. Same is the case with Kullu and Manali also. Okay, so answer is Dras is the region which is the coldest or second coldest place in the world. Okay, it is over here near to Kargil only. So it is now, it is forming the part of Ladakh region. So they were having Kargil, and near to that we are having Dras region. Okay, so it is this location. It is more interior and also having some high elevation also. So because of this, it is having more lesser temperature. Okay, so among these four, it is Dras sector which is the right answer, or region which is the right answer. Now, the 30th question: which of the following factors does not have influence on the Indian climate? So first option is presence of Indian Ocean. Of course, it is having some huge influence. Okay, because of the presence of Indian Ocean and the location of Indian subcontinent just above the Indian Ocean is one of the major factor why or how we're having the Indian monsoon. Okay, second one is of course nearness to the equator. So because of this, we're having the creation of low and high pressure. Okay, so they were having, it is also having their impact. Okay, that is nearness to the equator. Does not, we have to check out which is not the factor influencing the happening of or not having the influence over the Indian climate. Okay, it is having the influence. So it is also having the influence because of this only we're having the monsoon season, and we're having more warm you can say climatical condition because of nearness to the equator. Third one is we also have monsoon. Okay, so monsoon are not the rainfall, but these are the winds of course. So because of the presence of monsoon, we're having tropical monsoon season or climate. Okay, so in case of India, India is having, or the major part of India is having tropical monsoon type of climate, tropical monsoonal climate. Okay, yes, we don't have much influence of oceanic current. The reason is of course because of the presence of monsoon. So we don't have any influence of oceanic current. Even we don't have any you can say the presence of any warm or cool current. Okay, so we keep on having the change in the movement of oceanic current, so not having much influence over the oceanic current over the Indian climatical condition. So first three are having their influence over the Indian climatical condition, but the fourth one is not having much influence. Now next one is 31st is which of the following is incorrectly matched? Andhi, Kal Baisakhi, Loo, and mango showers. So these are the local winds. Local winds. Okay, so they we are checking out the local winds and the location of these local winds. So local winds are developing because of the local factor like temperature difference, low pressure condition, moisture. So because of this, we're having the development of these local winds. So Andhri we found in northwest part of India, that is again Uttar Pradesh, right answer. So in Uttar Pradesh we are witnessing Andhri region, Andhri local wind. It is more a thunderstorm. Then comes Kal Baisakhi. It forms a part of West Bengal of course. Okay, so we're having Kal Baisakhi local wind or the thunderstorm. Then comes Loo. Loo is also the local wind found in northwest part of India. Okay, and fourth one, that is a thunderstorm, that is called as mango shower. Now mango shower is not found in Odisha, but in Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Okay, so over this part we're having the presence of mango shower. We're having this thunderstorm or local wind known as mango shower. Okay, it is there present in Karnataka, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu. Now, same mango shower can also be called as cherry blossom in case of Karnataka. It is good for the maturing of coffee seeds in fact. Now, next one is, which of the following cities never experiences vertical rays of the sun during the noon? Okay. Now, we know that Earth is having some inclination, okay, and that is almost around 23.5 degree. And because of this inclination, what is happening? It is giving us a feel that the sun is traveling between the two tropics, between the Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. It moves up to here and then again start moving towards the south direction and reached Tropic of Capricorn, crossing equator. Okay, so throughout the year it keep on moving from Tropic of Cancer to Tropic of Capricorn, and again we back to Tropic of Cancer, crossing equator. Okay, so between this tropical area it is moving fine. Okay, but this sun never goes beyond the Tropic of Cancer or Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, now see the case over here. Now in case of India, this is Tropic of Cancer, they were having India, over here we're having India. So almost half of the region of India forms a part of subtropical area or temperate area. So they were having Indian region, of course. Okay, right? So up till here we can witness the vertical rays of the sun. Okay, so up to this part we can witness the vertical rays of the sun. So you can say, suppose they were having the sun. Okay, this is the flat plain area, so this is the location of the sun, of course. So over here we are witnessing the vertical rays, but over rest of the location we are witnessing the slant rays. And okay, right? So there the sun is overhead and witnessing vertical rays. Okay, but it will not go beyond the Tropic of Cancer or Capricorn. So over this part we can never have the vertical rays. We always have the slant rays. Now go with the example. So the city Bhopal or Ujjain is just over the Tropic of Cancer. So over here it witnessed the vertical rays, but because the sun is not moving towards the north direction, okay, further crossing the Tropic of Cancer, so they were having the location of New Delhi, Gwalior, okay, Guwahati. So this all are beyond the Tropic of Cancer, so never witness the vertical rays. Okay, always witness the slant rays. Okay, so they were having Mumbai is over here, then comes Chennai is over here, then comes Mangalore, also we're having over here somewhere. Okay, right? So over this area this all forms a part of tropical area. Okay, so witness the vertical rays at least once a year, but in case of New Delhi it never witnessed the vertical rays of the sun any part of the year. So the answer is New Delhi. Then comes coastal Andhra Pradesh and Odisha often face natural disaster. Remember this part again, always remain in news. Of course, every year we witness a cyclone. So it is the bed of tropical cyclone. In case of Bay of Bengal, it is an enclosed sea. So because of being in an enclosed sea, there the temperature always remain warm, of course. So whenever the temperature of Bay of Bengal crosses the mark of 26-27 degree, okay, it led to the condition which led to the formation of tropical cyclone. So it is tropical cyclone which, when falls over the coast of Tamil Nadu, Kerala, sorry, not Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, and West Bengal. Okay, and create lot of destruction. So they were having cyclone which is forming over here under the influence of trade wind. It simply moved towards the west direction and fall any of these coast of the states. Okay, so the answer is of course cyclone, that too tropical cyclone, which simply create lot of destruction, lot of problem to the coast of Andhra Pradesh or Odisha. Next one is, consider the following statement. The southwest monsoon causes heavy rainfall in Shillong Plateau. So this part we had already covered in the past in the last questions. Second is, the northeast monsoon caused rainfall over Odisha coast during the winter. So which of the statement is correct? So in case of Odisha coast, I've told you Odisha receive rainfall not because of northeast monsoon but because of southwest monsoon. Okay, it comes in the path of southwest monsoon which led to the rainfall over this region. So it is not receiving rainfall because of northeast but because of southwest monsoon. So this statement is not correct. So there we have to check out the correct statement. The second one is not correct, but first one is the southwest monsoon caused the heavy rainfall and Shillong Plateau. So that is very much correct, of course. So this rainfall, that is the Bay of Bengal branch. So they were having Bay of Bengal branch of southwest monsoon. Okay, it travels over Bay of Bengal, absorbs lot of moisture, and simply reaches crossing Bangladesh, it reaches Meghalaya or Shillong Plateau. Okay, so over this part it produces lot of rainfall. It is southwest monsoon only, southwest monsoon, which reaches Meghalaya Plateau and produce or Shillong Plateau and produce lot of rainfall. Okay, so the first one is the correct answer. That is A. It is one only which is the correct answer, not the other statement is not correct. Then comes next one is, at which place will you find maximum sunlight in December? So of course it is also very much clear. In case of December, the sun is near to Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, this is equator, this is 23.5 degree south, and this is the location of 23.5 degree north. Okay, so in the month of December, it is somewhere over here, either near or over Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, now in case of Pune is Leh is over here. They were having Leh Ladakh. Over this part we're having Leh. Okay, Pune is over here. This is the location of Kolkata. Okay, they were having Pune. Then comes Kanyakumari. Now it is the location of Kanyakumari. So it is Kanyakumari which is very much closer to the sun. It is Kanyakumari. This is over here we're having the sun. Okay, so it is not Leh, it is not Kolkata or Pune, it is Kanyakumari which is closer to the sun, so receive maximum sunlight. Okay, it is Kanyakumari which receives maximum sunlight. We know that the sun keep on moving between the two tropics, Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. Okay, between these two tropics location we're having the movement of the sun. So in the month of December, the sun is over here in the southern hemisphere or near to Tropic of Capricorn. So to this location, it is Kanyakumari which is very much closer, so receives the maximum sunlight as compared to other three locations. Now comes 36th question. Monsoon retreat is marked by, again it's a very easy answer of course. The answer is of course the clear sky. Okay, so it is the clear sky which is the right answer. Now in case of high pressure, we don't have high pressure over Bay of Bengal. Okay, and next one is rise in temperature on land area. It is also not the correct answer. We don't have much rise of temperature. Okay, so the answer is A, that is clear sky. Next one is, Amritsar and Shimla have the same latitude of course, so they were having Amritsar location. This is Amritsar. Okay, and this is the location of Shimla, right? Okay, it is the same it is at the same latitude, yet Shimla is cooler than Amritsar because it lies north of Amritsar. Again it is the same latitude of course, so it is not in the north of Amritsar. Comes under the influence of cold winds. It is not the case of course, because cold winds are actually being blocked by Himalaya, so it is not witnessing any cold wind also. Okay, it is at the higher elevation, and that is true of course. Third one is correct. It is at the higher elevation. It is over here we're having Shimla. Okay, so it is at the higher elevation, because of which we are very much aware, as we gain the elevation or altitude, we're having decrease in temperature. So because of more high elevation, the Shimla is having more lesser temperature compared to Amritsar. Okay, because we know that land heats up from the bottom, or the this not land, of course, it is the troposphere heats up from the bottom. So over this part we're having more higher temperature as compared to Shimla. So the answer is C. Which of the following is an example of crater lake? So crater lake is what? Of course, crater is what? It is more a saucer shaped depression. Okay, so this kind of depression is called as crater. So they were having a landform which is having a saucer shape. So this depression is it can be because of the eruption of lava, or because of some kind of volcanic eruption. It can also be because of the hitting of a meteor. Okay, so because of the hitting of meteor, we may develop a depression over here. And if this particular depression later been filled up by the water, in that case become a crater lake. Okay, so same is the example. We're having a lake in Buldana district of Maharashtra, and this lake is called as crater lake, or named as Lonar Lake. Okay, it is in Maharashtra. It is a crater lake. It is not developed because of some kind of volcanic eruption, but because of the hitting of a meteor, a rock from the space over here, and which has developed a depression over there, led to the formation of a crater, and later on crater lake. Okay, so they were having a crater lake. It is in Maharashtra. See, it is the picture of this Lunar Lake. They were having the settlement, and there's a huge lake over here. Okay, so the answer is Lunar Lake in Maharashtra. Then comes next one is, which region in India receives substantial rain during the winter month of January? Okay, so we have discussed that in case of northeast monsoon, it is there up till the month of December. October, November, December, we're having northeast monsoon, which brings rainfall in the Coromandel coast over this part. Okay, right? But we are talking about what is happening in the month of January. Okay, so Kerala's coast, we are not receiving substantial rainfall, though we receive some rainfall because of the presence of Western Ghats over there and near to the coastal area. So Kerala is not the right answer. Central India, we don't have any rainfall during the winter season, not much rainfall. Okay. Then comes in case of Rajasthan, of course, there also we don't have much rainfall. It is Punjab only. Okay, so Punjab receives a good rainfall during the winter season because of western disturbance. Okay, what is western disturbance? It is simply entering of temperate cyclone. We are talking about temperate cyclone into our country. Okay, so they were having the cyclone which is developing over or near to Mediterranean Sea. After coming under the influence of westerlies, it start moving towards the east direction. It produced rainfall over which it is having the influence. So after crossing Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan, Pakistan, it enters India from north and northwest direction and produce rainfall over the plains of Punjab, Haryana and West UP, and snowfall over the mountains of India, over the northern mountains of India. Okay, right? So they were having rainfall because of western disturbance, or the entering of temperate cyclone into the territory of India. So the answer is Punjab. So we go with the next one. The temperature of Thiruvananthapuram is lower than that of Mumbai in May and higher than that of Mumbai in January, because now Thiruvananthapuram is located at the tip of southern tip of peninsular India. Over here we have the location of Thiruvananthapuram, right? Now it is having high rainfall. Over this part received very high rainfall, so because of this, that brings the temperature more lower. Okay, so this is the location of Thiruvananthapuram. So it receives lot of rainfall over here, because of which it is having more lesser temperature than Mumbai, and higher temperature in during the winter season, because it is near to equator also. Okay, so being near to the equator, it is having more higher temperature. It is near to the sun, of course, compared to Mumbai. So that is how it receives more heat from the sun as compared to Mumbai. Mumbai is over here. Okay, so in the month of January, it is having more higher temperature, when rest of the country is witnessing more winter temperature season, of course. And during the summer season, it is having more higher rainfall time, so witnessing more lesser temperature. So the answer is Thiruvananthapuram has higher rainfall in summer season, and it is nearer to the equator, so having lesser uh, higher temperature in January and lesser temperature in summer season. Fine. Now, 41st question is about xerophyte. Xerophyte vegetation is characteristics feature of. Now, xerophyte here stands for the vegetation. Phyte here stands for vegetation, or the type of vegetation only. Okay, so they are the type of plant which is more adapted to the dry conditions. So we're talking about a plant or a vegetation type which is more adapted to the dry condition, like the desert like condition. So they were having a good example of cactus. This xerophyte, we're having cactus over here. Now it is more adapted to the dry condition. So how it is possible? It simply try to store more water in their body. That is how the body of this kind of vegetation is more fleshy and not having much leaves in them, so that they can reduce the surface area, and so the evaporation of water. Okay, so these type of vegetation are more adopted to the dry condition. So where we're having the dry condition more, of course, so it is not in Eastern Ghats, not in Khasi Hills, not in Chota Nagpur Plateau, because this all are receiving some good rainfall. Okay, but it is more in Kutch area, which is having more dry conditions. Okay, so Kutch is more a desert area condition, of course. So there in the Kutch area, we're having the presence of vegetation in the form of xerophyte. So the answer is D. Now next one is 42nd question is, which of the following is our correct statement about the northeast monsoon? Okay, so we are not talking about northeast area, we are talking about northeast monsoon or the retreating monsoon. Suppose this is India, so there we are having the coming of northeast monsoon. It blows from land to sea. It is not a correct way of saying. Okay. Second one is, it comes between October to December. So this we had already covered. So there we're having the retreating monsoon season or northeast monsoon season, which is there in the month of October, November, and December. So the second statement is correct. Third one is, it brings 60% of the annual rainfall in the coastal Tamil Nadu. Yes, that is of course also correct. So in case of Tamil Nadu or Coromandel coast, so there it receives its maximum rainfall because of north east monsoon winds. Okay, so from this only, when this winds reach over there in Coromandel coast, it gets blocked by the mountain or the hills over there and produce rainfall over the coast of Tamil Nadu or the Coromandel coast. Okay, so maximum rainfall it receives because of the northeast monsoon. So we are having these two are correct, of course. Second and third are correct. So there also we have to check out the correct option. So answer is B. That is 2 and 3 are correct. So in case of it blows from land to sea is not correct. Why? To so see this part. Okay, in case of northeast monsoon, it is coming from the land area, it is moving over the sea area, that is Bay of Bengal, and thereafter again moving over the land area. Okay, so it is not right way to say it is moving from land to sea, of course. Now comes about the headquarters of Northeastern Railway. So in case of Northeast Railway, the headquarters is in Gorakhpur, not in Guwahati. Guwahati is not the headquarters of Northeast Railway. It is more the Northeast Frontier Railway. Okay, so they were having the diagram for this. We're having Northern Railway, the Eastern Railway, and in the middle of this we're having Northeast Railway. This forms the location of Gorakhpur. Gorakhpur is the location over here. Okay, so there we're having Northeast Railway headquarters, that is in Gorakhpur. Okay, now in case of Kolkata, see, so Eastern Railway is having the headquarters in Kolkata. See this part. So they were having Southeastern just wait. Railways there, of course. So then comes Guwahati, we had covered, of course. We are having Southeast Frontier Railway or Northeast Frontier Railway headquarters. So Bhubaneswar is having the headquarters of East Coast Railway. Okay. So in case of Bhubaneswar, it is having the headquarters of East Coastal Railway. So where is the old and over 2 km long Pamban railway bridge which attracts tourists from all over the country is located, of course. Okay, so in case of Pamban bridge, it is linked with Rameshwaram. Okay, so where it is located, of course, so they were having Rameshwaram. Okay, so now they were having the railway bridge. This is the railway bridge. Okay, the answer, of course, so it is in Park Street. They were having the Park Street. It is more a 2 km long bridge is there. Okay, it is not in Nilgiris, it is not in Krishna Delta, it is in Park Street. So answer is C. Park Street is the answer in case of Pamban railway bridge. Very famous bridge that you know, number of times we see in a television. Now comes the 45th question. Simlipal Biosphere Reserve is located in which state of India? Now Simlipal is more linked with Odisha. So they were having Simlipal, it is the location of Odisha. So this is the state of Odisha. Okay, this is the location of Simlipal. Okay, so the answer is Simlipal Biosphere Reserve is in Odisha. Now comes a question with linked with soil. Which of the following is also known as topsoil? So now in case of soil, so these are the basic horizons of soil A, B and C. Apart from that, we are having more modification of soil because of the presence of humus. So above A we can also have O horizon. So if there is more presence of biotic material over here, so it develop a humus, lot of humus over there, and that create a more soil having more humus called as O soil or organic soil, you can say. Okay, so actually the formation of soil starts with A soil. So A horizon soil is called as topsoil. So answer is A soil in case of topsoil. Which region is known as Jhum or shifting agriculture? Is known for Jhum or shifting agriculture in India. So Jhum and shifting agriculture is usually been practiced in Northeast India. Okay, it is also called as slash and burn agriculture system. Okay, so this we found in Northeast India. That is Jhum or shifting, of course. Then comes next question. Which among the following is the smallest district of India? Smallest district is Mahe. Okay, so Mahe, which is the part of Puducherry. Puducherry. Okay, it is the part of Puducherry Union Territory. Now the territory of Puducherry is scattered in 3 states. That is in Tamil Nadu, Kerala, and third one is Andhra. Okay, in Tamil Nadu we are having Puducherry and Karaikal. Okay, in case of Mahe, it is there in Kerala. It is again a coastal city, so they were having a small location of Kerala and this Mahe. Okay, so this forms the smallest city of or district of India. They were having the smallest district of India, that is Mahe, forms the part of Puducherry. Puducherry. Next one is, of course, linked with recently the location which was in news. Of course, last year it was in news. A lot of and scuffle was going on between India and China. Okay, so we're having a lake which is landlocked lake situated at the height of 14,000 feet in the Himalayas. It is known for very high phosphate concentration. It is also known as high grassland lake. The line of control passes through the lake. Recently, a brief scuffle between India and China troops took place near it. Which of the following lake has been described above? Now see, so the answer we are very much aware, that is Pangong Lake. So we're having Pangong Tso Lake. Tso here stands for lake only. So we're having Pangong Tso or lake. Okay. So this is the location of Pangong Lake. Okay. Now we know that this part actually been acquired by China. Okay, so this part is acquired by China. It is not following the international border, of course. So now in case of Pangong, it is over here. Some part falls under the control of India and some part actually been controlled by China. Okay, it is China occupied Kashmir area, or now it is the Ladakh area, of course. It is COK. Okay, or can be termed as Aksai Chin region. Okay, so over this part we're having Pangong Lake. There. Okay, now see this. So from this particular Pangong Lake, so we're having the passage of line of actual control. We're having LAC, which is the line of actual control. That is a line of control between India and China. We also have LOC, which is between India and Pakistan. So this is the line of actual control. Okay, so they were having China. This forms the territory which is being controlled by India. But they were having a region which is again a disputed area. Okay, so this is Pangong Tso Lake is the answer. Which of the following pair is not correctly matched? So answer is of course Southeastern Railway, Northeast. The location of headquarters of Northeast Railway forms a part of. It is in Gorakhpur. Okay, Eastern Railway it is in Kolkata. Okay, Southeastern Central Railway it is in Bilaspur. So they were having Southeast Central Railway. Okay, so it is in Bilaspur in case of headquarters. Okay, but in case of Bhubaneswar we are not having the headquarters of Southeastern Railway. It is South or Eastern Coastal Railway. We are having the headquarters of Eastern Coastal Railway in Bhubaneswar. Okay, so the answer is, which is not matching, of course it is B. Next one is, which river is called as the sorrow of Bihar? Now of course by the name itself you can make out it is a sorrow, of course, sorrow for Bihar. So the name of the river is Kosi. Kosi in Hindi stands for curse. Okay, so they were having the river Kosi. It is fetching its water even from Mount Everest. Okay, it is having a tributary which is known as Arun, which is getting their water even from the northern slope of Mount Everest. So from there we're having the coming of Arun. Okay, now this river, after simply moving into the plain area, produced lot of flooding condition in the northern part of Bihar. Okay, it is river Kosi. Okay, it produced lot of flooding condition during the monsoon area, so called as Kosi. Next one is Jim Corbett Park is the oldest national park of India. Second statement is initially it is named as Hilly National Park. Which of the statement given above are correct? So there we have to check out the correct statement. So in case of India, it is opposed the oldest national park. It was set up in, it was been declared in the year 1936 as Hilly National Park. Even the second one is also correct. Okay, so the oldest national park of India is Jim Corbett Park, which was initially named as Hilly National Park. So it was established in 1936. So the answer is 1 and 2 both are correct. A is the answer. Now comes next one. Which among the following soil is the result of leaching? Leaching. Okay. Now leaching takes place only where we're having some good supply of water, good rainfall conditions there, of course. Okay. So because of heavy rainfall, what happened? So most of the water soluble content or very fine material simply, okay, and coming under the influence of water, they simply percolate deeper inside or move into the lower layer of the soil. So what is happening over there? Because of more water supply, okay, so the finer material or the water soluble material simply dissolve in the water and simply move into the second layer, that is the B layer. Okay, right, and at the upper part we are left with more coarser material like compounds of iron and aluminium. And okay, so this type of formation or this type of process is called as leaching process, and the soil formed because of this leaching process called as the laterite soil. Now laterite is also having the red color like red soil. So because it is now left with the compounds of iron and aluminium, so because of some particles of iron oxide we are having over here, so which gives the color more reddish in appearance. Okay, so that is how the answer is laterite soil. Okay, so it is rich in iron and aluminium compounds. Okay, and found in hot and wet tropical area. So we were having some more rainfall, so there only we can witness the process of bleaching. So it found in the region which is more hot and even the wet conditions. See, this is the leached soil, of course. It is not much good for the vegetation. So there, because of the percolation of finer material in the lower layer, so they were having the more fine particles of the soil, and upper part we are left with more coarser material. Okay, so this is the second layer, that is the horizon B or B horizon is there, of course, which is having the presence of finer particles like sand and lime, of course. So it is laterite soil. Now comes the next one. Indian Railway will be making a new zone named South Coast Railway. Okay, so now the government also declared that they are simply coming up with a new zone, of course. Okay, and that is not officially declared, of course, but it is there. Okay, and the headquarters of South Coast Railway is or will be at Vishakhapatnam. Vishakhapatnam, which is a port, which is a coastal city of Andhra Pradesh. Now, this headquarters or the zone is simply going to address the region of Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, and Odisha. Next one. Which of the following is located between Car Nicobar and Little Andaman? Now, Little Andaman is more the southernmost island of Andaman group of islands. Now, Car Nicobar is more the first island or the northernmost island of Nicobar group of islands. And between that, we are having a channel of passages there, which is named after 10-degree latitude, called as 10-degree channel. Okay, so they were having a latitude 10 degree, north latitude, so it is named after this particular latitude, that is 10 degree, and called as 10-degree channel. So they were having Little Andaman, and then comes Car Nicobar. It is southernmost island, of course, and it is northernmost island of Nicobar group. And in between we're having a passage, a link is there, of course, between Bay of Bengal and Andaman Sea. So this passage is called as 10-degree channel. Then comes the Grand Trunk Road connects, again a very easy question. Okay, you should have been seen a number of exam. Now it is connecting between Kolkata and Amritsar. So they were having Kolkata, they were having Amritsar, even extending into Pakistan up to Kabul. It is developed by or made by Sher Shah Suri. Okay, so they were having this highway known as Grand Trunk Road. Okay, it is from, answer is Kolkata to Amritsar. Okay, connecting Lahore, Islamabad and Kabul, and Lahore, Islamabad and Kabul, that is in Afghanistan. Now 57th question, largest freshwater lake of India is, so largest one is in Kashmir region, that is Wooler Lake. Okay, so they were having Wooler Lake. It is the largest freshwater lake of India. Over here we are having Wooler Lake over this part. Okay, it forms a part of Kashmir Valley. So the answer is Wooler Lake. Now there also we are having a Sambar Lake. It is not a freshwater lake but a saline lake. कहाँ पर है? It is in Rajasthan. So over here in near to Jaipur we are having Sambar Lake also. It is the most saline lake of India. Okay, so the Sambar Lake is the most saline lake. Fresh water or the sweet water lake is Wurar Lake. In case of most saline lake is Sambar Lake. It is in Rajasthan. Then comes, which of the following is the new name of Rose Island? So in the year 2018, our Prime Minister has simply renamed the existing island of Andaman Nicobar Group, okay, as Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Dweep. Okay, so this Rose Island was now named as Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Dweep. So the answer is D. Next one is Lakshadweep Island and Minicoy are separated by which of the following channel? Okay. So now in case of Lakshadweep and Minicoy, so they were having Minicoy, which is the southernmost island of Lakshadweep, and in between, just above, we are having Lakshadweep Islands. Okay, so these are Lakshadweep Islands, and it got separated from Minicoy with the help of 9-degree channel. Okay, so 9-degree channel separates Minicoy from Lakshadweep Islands group, and 8-degree separates from so they were having, the answer is 9-degree channel. Then comes, which part of Himalaya lies between Satluj and Kali? Okay, so we're having longitudinal division also. So there, on the basis of rivers, so we have divided the northern mountains of India into 4 groups. Okay, it is covering all Himalayas and Trans Himalayas also. So in case of Himalayas, or the mountains which lies between river Indus and river Satluj. So over here we're having river Satluj. Okay, so between river Indus and Satluj is called as Punjab Himalayas. Okay, so between Satluj and river Kali, so they were having river Kali, which forms a boundary between Uttarakhand, India and Nepal. Okay, it is called as Kumaon Himalayas. So after Punjab Himalayas, we're having Kumaon Himalayas between Satluj and river Kali. Okay, so the answer is Kumaon Himalayas. Now thereafter, from river Kali till river Tista, okay, it is called as Nepal Himalayas, and then from river Tista till river Dihang. Now river Dihang is the name of river Brahmaputra only in Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so there it is called as Assam Himalayas. So the answer is Kumaon Himalayas, which lies between river Satluj and river Kali. So they were having some ranges, and these ranges are called as Kumaon Himalayas. Now comes next question. Maximum area of mangrove forest is in which state? So this part we already covered. So it is West Bengal, and that too it is 24 Pargana, okay, which is having the maximum contribution in case of mangrove forest. So answer is West Bengal, and after West Bengal it is Gujarat, which is having the contribution, maximum contribution of mangrove forest. So almost 42% of the total forest are there in West Bengal. Next one is Shiv Samudram waterfall is on which river? So the answer is Kaveri river. So we are having this particular waterfall in Kaveri river. Forms a part of Karnataka state. Next question linked with national waterway. So national waterway number 2 is on which river? So it is river Brahmaputra from Brahmaputra in Assam is declared as national waterway number 2. So they were having Brahmaputra. So this river Brahmaputra enters into plain area in Sadia district of Assam, and in Dhubri. So they were having Dhubri location. It is a district of Assam. From Dhubri it enters into Bangladesh. So from Sadia till Dhubri, it is now been marked as national waterway number 2. Now next comes, which of the following are true with respect to the recent development in space tourism? So now we have seen there are two giants, you can say, business house, you can say, uh, business person or this house, which are more focusing over space tourism also. Okay, so one is it belongs to Richard Branson, and second one belongs to the richest man of the world, that is Jeff Bezos. Okay, so there are two companies which are been focusing over the space tourism, that is Virgin, and second one is Amazon. So we are having some statement linked with the recent development about space tourism. So the first statement is Richard Branson flew to space in his VSS Unity spacecraft. So it is of course correct. So it is simply moved with the help of VSS Unity. So they were having Richard Branson, by using his Virgin company, has developed, or Virgin Galactic, this company has developed VSS Unity. It is a spacecraft used for the space tourism. Second one is Jeff Bezos has made a short journey to space. So recently we have seen that, in fact, this person has made a journey to space in the first crewed flight of his rocket ship known as New Shepard. So the name of this particular ship, this spaceship, is New Shepard. Third one is the first flight of VSS spacecraft reached up to 80-kilometer suborbital altitude. It is also a correct statement. Okay, and the last one is New Shepard was built by Bezos company Blue Origin. Okay, so all four are correct statements. So this Bezos has developed a company named as Blue Origin. Okay, and this company has developed this particular spacecraft, which is named as New Shepard. So all four are correct. So they were having the spacecraft of Virgin company, that is USS Unity, and below we're having this spacecraft which is named as New Shepard, made by Blue Origin company of Jeff Bezos, who is the richest man of the world. Next one is, which of the following rivers lies in a rift valley? Okay, so Luni, Chambal, Son, they are not flowing any kind of rift valley. In case of last one is Narmada river, it flows through a rift valley. This part we already covered. It lies between Valian range and Satpura range we're having a rift valley, and through this rift valley we're having the flow of river Narmada. So the answer is river Narmada. Then comes Narmada originate from its source situated in the state of MP. Now between MP and Chhattisgarh we're having a mountain chain known as Amarkantak. So they were having mountain chain known as Amarkantak. It is more extension of Satpura range. So from the tip of this particular northern point of Amarkantak, okay, we're having the rise of three rivers. One moved towards the west, one moved towards the east, and one moved towards the north. This one is Son River, this one is Mahanadi, and this one is River Narmada. Okay, and this part lies in MP. So the answer is Madhya Pradesh. This one is Amarkantak range. Range. Again, a very simple question. The Jog Fall is situated on river Shravasti. Shravasti is the answer. Shravasti is the answer. Okay, so B answer is correct. Next one is Jharia is famous for, again a simple question. So it forms a part of Jharkhand, Chota Nagpur Plateau, and known for coal mines. Okay, it forming the part of river valley, Damodar River Valley. So and famous for the mining of coal. So they were having Jharia, coal fields. Okay, so Jharia is famous for coal mining. Answer is coal. And over this part we are having the presence of second best quality coal, that is bituminous type of coal. Bituminous coal. Next one, second last one. The tributary of the Indus River include, so there if you talk about the Indus River, so they were having five tributaries, five main tributaries you can say. So they were having the river Indus, it's flowing this way. Okay, now it is having, in case of this tributaries we're having Jhelum. Now Jhelum forms a tributary of river Chenab. So this is Chenab river. Okay, Chenab, there is we're having the Ravi river. It is also meeting with Chenab river only. Then comes Satluj river. It is also meeting with Chenab only. And thereafter this Chenab is later been meeting to river Indus. So Satluj, Ravi, Chenab, Jhelum, they all forms the tributary. We simply tribute their water into this main river, that is river Indus. Okay, so they were having the main river. It is having a number of more tributaries, like we're having Shiok river, we're having Gilgit river. Okay, so this all forms, we are having Nubra river over there we're having. Okay, so this all forms the tributary of river Indus, but the major one are Jhelum, Chenab, Ravi, Satluj, Chenab. Okay, so this all forms the tributaries of river Indus. Okay, and over in this location in Punjab, in Pakistan, it is meeting with the river Indus. So the answer is Satluj, Beas, Ravi are the tributaries of river Indus. Now comes the last question of the test, which is linked with Indian geography. River Krishna and tributaries flows through the state. Now this question was, we can say this river Krishna, this was in news of course because of dispute between Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. That is how we're having this question. So river Krishna flows through four states. Okay, so four states having their linkage with this river. It is simply rising over here in Maharashtra. Okay, so we're having a number of tributaries of river Krishna. Okay, so it is linked with Maharashtra, Karnataka. It is flowing through Karnataka. This is the location of Karnataka, or the state of Karnataka. They were having a small part linked with Telangana also, so it is passing through the Telangana. Okay, and lastly from Andhra Pradesh it moves into Bay of Bengal. Okay, so they were having four states through which river Krishna is linked, and the states are Maharashtra, Karnataka, Telangana, and Andhra Pradesh. So as per the question which are linked with Assam, so you might be having the answer for these all questions. So we had covered this paper also. So if you're having any doubt, you can simply make me a call, simply WhatsApp me in my number, or call to um, Shankardev IS Academy. Okay. So I think you might have received a lot from this particular discussion. So thank you for watching this video.